Welcome to your daily 5-minute crypto brief with Satoshi and Nova. Today is July 22nd, 2025. I am Nova.
I am Satoshi.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the essential insights. Today, we're plunging into the fast-paced world of cryptocurrency. We're focusing on today's market movements, significant policy shifts, and major institutional plays from July 22, 2025. We've gathered the latest reports and analysis to give you a clear picture of what's happening and, importantly, why it matters, our mission, to get you feeling truly well-informed in just minutes. So what's been shaking the crypto landscape in the last, say, 24 hours? Okay, let's start with a quick market pulse check. Bitcoin and Ethereum. They've been holding pretty steady. BTC hovering around $117,000 and ETH near $3,800. But here's where it gets, really interesting. We're seeing a definite rotation of capital, a shift towards altcoins.
Yeah, that's right. And what's fascinating here is while these blue chips, Bitcoin and Ether are consolidating, certain altcoins are really surging. Solana, for instance, jumped roughly 11-12% to around $204. That's its highest since mid-February. And then you've got newer meme plays, like Bonk, spiked over 6%. Plus, Pudgy Penguin's PENGU token soared about 21% in just 24 hours. That's continuing a rally that's been going for weeks now.
So this rotation into what you call higher beta tokens, the ones with bigger swings, that's a classic sign of alt season, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It signals that capital is shifting from Bitcoin, looking for potentially bigger gains in smaller alts. It suggests, renewed market confidence, maybe a willingness to take on a bit more risk. Overall market sentiment, definitely leaning bullish and speculative.
Okay, beyond the price charts, there's some major news breaking on the policy front, stuff that could really reshape the industry.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the White House is poised to release its first comprehensive policy blueprint on digital assets. Today, actually, July 22nd. This is a landmark report. It stems from that 2022 executive order. And the goal is a unified federal approach, moving away from regulation by enforcement.
Right. Regulation by enforcement, basically suing first and asking questions later instead of clear rules up front. So this shift, that's potentially huge for the industry.
It really is. It's expected to cover stablecoin regulation, exchange compliance, maybe even the idea of a national digital asset reserve using crypto seized by the government. The key insight here, maybe counterintuitively, is that this kind of regulatory clarity, even if it brings new rules, it could actually be the thing that attracts more serious institutional investors. It legitimizes the space.
Makes sense. Clearer rules, less risk for big players.
Exactly. Though exchanges might need to adjust operations for new compliance mandates, but it clarifies the path forward.
And speaking of institutions, there was a pretty groundbreaking step for U.S. traders just yesterday, right?
Indeed. Coinbase officially launched CFTC-regulated perpetual futures for Bitcoin and Ether. That was July 21st. Now, perpetual futures, or Perps, let you trade on price movements without an expiry date, unlike traditional futures.
Okay.
And crucially, these are now available to U.S. retail and institutional traders on a fully compliant platform. They're offering nano BTC and ETH contracts, small sizes, more accessible with up to 10x leverage.
Wow. So the big deal here is bringing this kind of sophisticated trading tool onshore, because most of that volume used to be offshore, correct?
Precisely. It could mean more short-term volatility, maybe, but longer term. It's definitely a positive step for market maturity. It gives traders safer hedging tools that just weren't available domestically before.
Got it. And beyond new tools, we're seeing established players making big moves too.
Yeah, doubling down. MicroStrategy just bought another 6,220 Bitcoin. That cost about $739.8 million. Brings their total holdings to something like 607,770 BTC. That's valued over $70 billion now. Really reinforces their long-term bullish conviction.
Incredible commitment. What about the Ethereum side of things?
Well, there's a new entity called the Ether Machine. It's set to go public through a SPAC merger. And it's bringing roughly $1.5 billion worth of ETH onto its balance sheet.
$1.5 billion in Ether.
Yeah. And it's backed by some big names like Pantera Capital and Kraken, their plan to actively generate yield on that Ether through things like staking, locking up ETH to support the network, and earn rewards and various DeFi strategies. So this signals growing institutional interest not just in Bitcoin as, say, digital gold, but in Ethereum as a productive, yield-bearing asset.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. On the macro front, you mentioned keeping an eye on global trade tensions.
Right. The EU is looking at using its anti-coercion instrument, possibly in response to potential U.S. tariffs. Now, this could inject some broader macro uncertainty, maybe lead to a general risk-off mood in markets.
Then how might that impact crypto?
Well, Bitcoin's sometimes seen as a hedge in geopolitical crises, but frankly, its track record is mixed. And sharp moves in the US dollar could definitely influence crypto flows. The key takeaway for you, the listener, is that while crypto can seem independent, these big global economic ripples can still affect sentiment and liquidity. So, yeah, always worth watching that macro picture.
So pulling this all together, what does this mean for you navigating this pretty exciting landscape right now?
Well, look, the overall sentiment is optimistic, definitely. But it's really crucial to stay vigilant. That altcoin momentum, it could continue, sure. But remember, rapid gains can also lead to rapid profit-taking. And those regulatory details we talked about, they matter hugely. Unexpectedly harsh rules could dampen things quickly, while clear progress would likely be bullish. And don't forget, macro events like that potential US-EU trade spat, they could be headwinds. So diversification, avoiding too much leverage, that remains essential. It really raises the question, doesn't it? How do you balance chasing these bullish opportunities with, sensible risk management? Because those speculative tokens, they carry high downside risk too. Caution is definitely key.
Okay, so to summarize, the crypto market's entering midweek on a strong note. Enthusiasm seems to be shifting towards altcoins, innovative projects. Regulatory developments promise a clear path forward, hopefully, and institutional validation just keeps rolling in.
Yeah, the next few days will really test if this rally can broaden out. But for now, optimism is definitely in the air. Understanding these shifts, the regulation, the new trading tools, the institutional conviction, that's how you can stay agile in this really dynamic space.
So what stands out to you about today's deep dive into crypto? Are we witnessing the real professionalization of this industry, or is it just another speculative cycle wearing institutional clothes? We hope this quick, packed overview helps you navigate the market. Until next time, stay informed. Enjoyed the brief? Please like and subscribe. We deliver fresh market updates, macro signals, and crypto news daily in just 5 minutes. Live streams coming soon. Stay tuned.